Hey guys, we're taking a look at another pair of boots today. This time it is the Nike Mercurial Superfly in the Urban Lilac color from the Liquid Chrome pack. So let's get right into it. So taking a closer look at the box, as I mentioned, it is the Urban Lilac colorway. The official colorway is Urban Lilac, Bright Mango, and Black. And again, this is from the Liquid Chrome pack. With these boots you get, as always, from Nike with the top end boots, you get a drawstring bag. This one is black with white hips. And then, of course, you get the boots. So just going over some of the colorway details. First thing you'll notice is with that Liquid Chrome pack, you're going to get a metallic finish to the upper. This Urban Lilac kind of metallic purple makes up the majority of the upper. See the light's actually catching it really well on camera right now. And then underneath, because this is the Superfly, giving you that one-piece Flyknit upper. That Flyknit is composed of a purple and a black, kind of interwoven to give a kind of speckling appearance. You have black Nike hits with a white outline, and then that bright mango appears on the back here with the Mercurial branding, as well as on the studs on the outsole. Another place you'll find that bright mango is on the inside lining of that dynamic fit collar. You can see there. And that also becomes present when wearing this boot and that dynamic fit collar stretch a little bit. You'll see it come through those perforations in the first layer of that Flyknit. So getting into some of the technical details of this boot, as I mentioned before, you do have that NikeSkin that makes up a majority of the upper. That is over the one-piece seamless Flyknit upper. That Flyknit makes up the entire boot, which is then, as I said, coated in that NikeSkin coating. The entire portion of the NikeSkin does have this very minor texturing to it. Looks like it's showing up pretty good on camera there. And that's really not going to give you much grip, maybe very, very minimal added grip, but it is nice just to have a material that doesn't feel slick to the touch. The other technology hiding between the NikeSkin coating and the Flyknit are these fly wire cables, and these cables wrap from the bottom of the boot up and around each lace hole. You can see there, all the way down for each one. That's both on the outside and on the inside of the boot. And that's going to really lock down your foot within the boot and prevent any lateral movement when you're turning and cutting and stopping, to make sure you don't have any rollover on either side of the sole plate. The Flyknit is exposed underneath the laces as well as on that dynamic fit collar, which allows the boot to stretch in those places, allowing for a really, really comfortable fit. As I mentioned before, with that Mercurial branding at the back of the boot, that is printed over top a synthetic leather that both goes up the outside as well as the inside. You can see it there going all the way down the wraps into the synthetic lining of the heel. And this is my only complaint about this boot. I think the first break-in period, which lasts for me about a week, 2 weeks or so, this is definitely a bit uncomfortable on my heel. It rubs until it really breaks in and gets really flexible. It's not the most comfortable thing. Take a look at the insole of the boot. It is a single layer of perforated foam, Mercurial branding there. Taking a look at the sole plate of this boot, you do have a carbon fiber sole plate with the bladed stud design. You'll see up top you do have the 3 studs in that kind of circular pattern right there, and then bladed studs throughout. You have the 4 studs in the back. Unlike the previous model, the Superfly, they are not cored through, but they definitely are still lightweight and functional. The carbon fiber sole plate will get more flexible over the time. It's definitely pretty stiff coming right out of the box, but this boot does break in really well and gets extremely, extremely comfortable after a couple of weeks. So just keep that in mind when first wearing your pair. That's about it for the technical details of this boot. Let's go down to the turf and take a look on feet. As we take an on-feet look at this boot, first thing I want to say is I'm currently wearing a size 9 US. However, if I was purchasing these boots for myself, I would go down to a size 8.5. I like my boots really, really snug, and I'm right between that 8.5 and that 9. So I feel that going down half the size fits me better in the long run. It's definitely a little tight for the first few weeks, but once that upper kind of breaks in and morphs the shape of my foot, that 8.5 is definitely a better fit for me. If you follow this channel, you saw that we just did an indoor review of this boot. In that review, I said the color wasn't my favorite, But the more I look at these, the more they grow on me. That Urban Lilac really does look pretty good, and especially with those really subtle hits of that bright mango, this boot is definitely climbing on the list of boots I would wear at the current moment. So guys, hope you enjoyed that quick detailed review and on-feet look at the Nike Mercurial Superfly in the Urban Lilac colorway. As I mentioned before, the dynamic fit collar isn't going to add any added support or padding, but it does give a really good kind of lockdown sock-like feel I've grown to love over the last couple of years. A couple things I do want to note before we wrap this video up. First off is they are using the thicker laces with this. As I mentioned in one of the indoor reviews previously, they had switched back to the thin laces that some people had trouble with them breaking and snapping on them, myself included. So it's good to see that Nike is using the thicker laces on the outdoor version of this boot. Secondly is this boot does run a bit narrow. If you have normal to skinny feet, you'll be fine, but if you do have wider feet, I wouldn't recommend this boot for you. NikeSkin, as I mentioned, stretches a little bit, but not enough where if you have a wider foot, it's going to become comfortable over time. Really wouldn't recommend this if you do have a wider foot. If you are in the market to pick up a pair of these for yourself, you can do so on our website at eastcoastsoccershop.com. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for you today. If you have any questions about this boot or the Superfly in general, put it down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer that. I do currently wear a Superfly as my primary boot of choice, so if you do have any questions about how they feel during play or if they'd be right for you, put those questions down in the comment below and I'd be happy to answer them for you. Other than that, guys, make sure you're subscribed to stay up to date with all of our new videos, and we'll see you next time.